Hey everybody, Dave Clark, aka the Pattern Guy. Hey, we're going to talk about drawings today. Another chalk talk here. We're going to talk about drawings. It's a real important thing that you need to know, especially when you're just starting out, okay? You gotta learn how to read drawings, alright? So I got a couple examples of some drawings. You're probably not going to be able to see them real good. My camera guy is going to take some still photos and put them up there and that. But I mean, you get some simple drawings, you know, like this. That's you know, not too bad to follow. But you know, once you get a little bit more into the trade and become a journeyman in that, you get stuff like that here. It's just kind of like a big roadmap to a lot of people. Just going to go over some general information today because there's a ton of information on drawings. These are old school drawings. Those are drawn by hand, believe it or not. Now you guys got AutoCAD, CAD, all kinds of drawing programs on the computer, which, you know, that's way out of my league. So to get started, basically, you'll have a drawing, okay? And this is basically how they'll come out a lot of times, right? So they generally have like three views, all right? You'll have your top view, your front view, your right side view, okay? So as pattern makers, basically, you know, try and explain to people, I'm a pattern maker. You know, they'll think, oh, you make dress patterns or something, and it's hard to explain to people what I actually do. So I was actually showing somebody what I was doing one day in the shop here, and the guy came up with a real good little thing. He basically said, so you take something 2D, which this would be 2D, you know, your drawings are 2D, and he goes, you make them 3D, which is exactly, you know, that's exactly what we do, okay? And it'll come to you over time. It takes years and years and years. When you're looking at drawings, like I said, some are real easy, some are unbelievably difficult. The first place I worked at, we did a lot of transmission housings and that for Mack truck. There would be 14, 16, 18 pages for just the one drawing. It wasn't just one sheet, you know. So it takes you a long time to get geared into looking at a drawing, and this is what I want you guys to learn how to do. Is you got to be able to look at 2D and picture it 3D in your head, okay? Now with AutoCAD and all the computer programs, they put it in 3D now, and it rotates and everything, you know, so we're pretty lucky with that. But you know, back in the old days, I had a drawing up here and I put it away. But basically what they used to do in old drawings is they used to have quadrants, okay? So it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over here it'd be A, B, C, D, E, okay? So if I was building a pattern and I was having a, like maybe like a dimensional discrepancy, you know, you have to call, you know, I live in Cleveland, Ohio, we'd have to call up California and get on the phone with an engineer and basically say, hey, look, I'm on drawing page number 2, go to quadrant 5B, all right? And then they would be able to see this dimension here that's not coming out, or I'm having an issue. Now it's great. I've got customers out in California that I just take out my iPhone, I can take a picture, call the guy right up, we can, you know, figure it out there, you know. But that's the way we used to have to do it. You can communicate with them over the internet too and that. But you got to learn how to do these things. You're going to get all different kinds of drawings, like I said too. The project that we're going to start on Saturday, like I said, there's no drawings to it. So we're going to basically, I did a sketch. That's something. The other thing you got to start learning too, you know, you're going to have to learn how to do little sketches in that, right? So if you see something somebody wants to make, there's going to be sometimes where you can't take that casting off of something. You're going to have to measure it up, make a little sketch, go back to your shop, you know, make a pattern for it and that, okay? So you're gonna have to do some sketches. Sometimes you get professional drawings like these. I've literally got drawings on napkins. I kid you not. You know, I've had somebody come up with a napkin with something on there. Hey, could you make me this? You know, so learn how to do them. Like I said, most of the drawings look like this. Okay. Now, one of the important parts you got to do is when you get a drawing, before you start a job, look at everything. On a professional drawing, you'll have down in the right-hand corner usually. You have what's called the title block, okay? So it'll tell you the name of the part, they'll tell you when it was drawn, give you some general information on it, okay? And then a lot of times up in the upper right, you'll have revisions. So what'll happen is a lot of times, you know, I've had castings where they've drawn them in the 50s and the parts kind of mature over the years and that, and they make changes and revisions to them. So you always got to make sure, look at your revisions big time, because you know what's right here, you know, if they revise something, you didn't look over there, you make it to the old drawing, okay, the pattern's going to be wrong. So always look at your revisions. Okay, always know what you're doing, you know, that's an important thing. So that, like I said, this will be a professional drawing. A lot of times too is, like I said, we're just doing general stuff today. Down the road, we'll show you some drawings. We'll get into some. They'll be a little bit more elaborate than these, and it'll be hard to determine what the shape's going to look like. So instead of 3D, a lot of times what they would do is they would cut through a middle and then draw like a little section drawing up here, section AA, section BB, and they'd have section BB over here. So when we get a drawing like that, we'll show you the section drawings in that, okay? So one of the things, they used to call these blueprints, right? So these are old drawings right here. These are for Warren Swayze, my customer for Warren Swayze. All right, this one here, this one was drawn in 1951. This one here was drawn in 1924. Okay, so they called them blueprints because they're blue in color. And what these actually were is why they're blue. So we didn't have copy machines back then. Okay, so if they needed multiple copies of a drawing, you know, it would be way too expensive to have like 10 guys do the same drawing, right? So what they used to do, they used to have, I'm not sure what the chemicals are called. If you're really interested, look it up on the internet. It's actually pretty interesting. They used to wash a piece of paper with a chemical, and then they used to draw the original drawing on a see-through piece of paper. And then they used to put the two pieces of paper together, stick it in a frame with a light on it, a real bright light, and take them apart. And they would take the copy part and put it in like an ammonia mixture kind of stuff, like air just a gas, and you would get the blueprint, right? So we actually, when I was in 7th grade, we had that system, 7th and 8th grade drawing classes. I remember doing blueprints like these, right? So another thing, you know, hopefully I'm gearing this more towards the younger guys. The Chalk Talks, you know, want to start out from the beginnings, right? So hopefully if you guys are still in school, if you guys have drawing classes, take them, all right? And if not, this book right here, this has got to be 30, 40 years old, something like this. This was mine in school, okay? They still have this. This is like the 3rd edition. I believe they're on like the 8th edition now or something like that, but a ton of information. Believe it or not, I'll go back and look at some things here and there in this book now to this day. All right, so you can get the 8th edition online. It's fairly expensive. It's like around $100 I was looking, but it's really worth it. You learn a lot about drawings from this book. All right, and that's one of the most important things that you guys got to learn how to do. All right, so I just gave you like a little bit of an overview on the drawings today. As we get the different drawings in, like I said, with like section views, multiple pages, things like that. I'll show you how to do the different layouts, and it's easy when a lot of times when you look at drawings, they look real daunting in that, but once you start laying them out, I told you you got to lay them out with draft on them and in our shrink rules and stuff like that. Things start clicking. All right, so it's not as hard as it looks. Obviously, you're not going to start out with this one right away. Okay, you're just going to do simple little guys like this, right off the bat. Okay, so another thing I was just showing you too. One more thing before I take off here. A lot of times, the other thing I'm going to have to teach you too is a lot of companies, instead of making two drawings, you should get like a pattern drawing, and then the machinists get a machine drawing. A lot of times what companies will do, they'll just make a machine drawing, and then as a pattern maker, we will look at the machine drawing, and then we can see where the machine marks are, and I'll show you those when we get some drawings on that. We have to add stock to them in that. So like I said, some companies, if you're lucky, you'll get a pattern drawing, so you could just make your pattern to that drawing. If not, if you get a machine print, you got to add your stock, and that's where I said you got to know a little machining too, So we'll teach you some more as we're going along. There's a whole bunch of information on drawing. I could sit here for 8 hours and talk, and then for weeks. Okay, going through trade school, I took a drawing class every semester. All right, so that's one of the most important things is drawing, and math. All right, so get your drawing and math going. If you're still in school, take drawing classes if you can. I'm not a computer guy, but go look. There's a whole bunch of free drawing programs on the internet. Start learning how to do those. If you have the money, buy one or whatever. But try to keep on going on the drawing. Like I said, this book, like I said, these guys aren't paying me. This is just what I had in school. There's a ton of information in here. It's expensive, but it's worth every penny. Okay. So hopefully Saturday or Sunday, probably get a video out Sunday, starting a pattern for my buddy. He doesn't know everything yet. I took it there yesterday. He wanted to kick some stuff over with his dad's helping him build this machine. So they want to kick a couple things over, but I told him to make sure it's done by Saturday, because I got a window of opportunity to get this thing going for him. So we'll get that thing going. If for some reason we can't do that, I got something else we can do real quick. I don't want to interrupt the series if we can. I'll try to get that one going, but we'll be working on a pattern on Sunday. All right, have a good one out there, everybody.